All right. Let's see, we are live. Sorry, we're a little bit late, fam, but technical difficulties. We figured it out. How's the coffee this morning, man?
It is good. How was yours?
Man, it's excellent. It's excellent. Look at you.
Cheers, fellas.
Cheers, King Brett. Where's the Nine Oaks Inn, bro? Where's that place?
It's Grayling, Michigan.
Okay.
Place y'all have never heard of. It's where the Triple Crown of canoe racing is.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
where my buddy's one of the top canoe racers in the world, and his parents own this place, so we get free lodging there once a year.
So would they
awesome.
let us come? Let us come more than once a year and CNC canoe race?
We can definitely do that. I know I can get us some C3, C4 boats. We can have some paddles up and down the river.
Oh man, that'd be amazing.
CNC con.
Who would your money be on in a CNC canoe race?
Myself, definitely.
Experience, upper body strength. Yeah.
15 years of flying to Michigan and feeding for my buddy. I learned a lot of stuff about canoe racing you never thought that would even matter. So it's actually a pretty crazy sport.
Yeah.
I've never even been on one. I'm not sure I could even balance it.
Yeah. I've tumped a few in my day. That's
Have
for
you?
sure. Oh man.
Outdoor treaticus.
Yeah, I got to do the kayak, man. It's not that I don't. I mean, I'm not good at that either. It's just a lot easier to deal with after you tump. I mean, it's. I got my keeping this big body. Center of gravity is not easy.
A little top heavy in the canoe.
Yeah, a little top heavy. Need more weight down low. That's another show. Well, I do want to, before we jump into these moments, I want to hear some. What do you think about the Champions Path? Give me some thoughts. What do you think, Three Ball? You happy? You like it? What are you thinking about it?
I think it's pretty interesting. I like doing different things. Redemption. It's really cool of the trade ins you could hold. It gives you multiple ways of playing the game within the game. I think it's going to be fun collecting, trading, doing lots of different parts within that game for sure.
What about you, Brett, the King?
Yeah,
You're not that fired up about it?
I'm always fired up because it's playoffs.
Yeah.
But I like it. It gives you options so you can shout out Batch County, but they really laid it down and broke it down really well. It's the first time it lets the collectors in a way dictate the moments, and the moment counts based on trading in or burning, because they will be burned.
Right.
Just depending on how you want to do it. If you want to hold all of them at the beginning. So I definitely think it's cool. I love that they're getting creative in ways to give us control, but also still do what they want to do. So I think it'll be an interesting year, an interesting kind of playoffs to check it out, see how it all goes.
Okay. Hey, my boss is calling me. I'm gonna have to mute, and you guys roll.
Where duty calls.
Nice.
That's right.
Yeah. Make sure you wipe. Sorry. I'm the king.
I thought it was funny.
But the king of one-liners.
Yeah, for sure. To your point, yeah, Badge County crushed it talking about the redemption and the playoffs coming out. I would definitely listen to that if you haven't already, because it's not right now, but after this. And check that out because it had some really interesting notes. Jared and Sam were great on that. To your point, we don't like change. We're both Texans. Series 2, Series 3 playoffs and collecting those, you're both close to it because you've done both of them. I only finished Series 3 with you, but having both of those done, I could see why you're pumped thinking, okay, Series 4 are going to knock out this playoffs, and now they're changing it and doing it a little differently. I think there's going to be a lot of people that don't really know what to do, and they're sitting in positions and making decisions. So people are going to make bad decisions, which means there's going to be vulnerabilities and places to do well.
Yeah, 100%. I was actually supposed to meet up with the Thunder Live group last night and meet up with Jared and a couple of guys in Oklahoma City. I wasn't able to make it, but I was really looking forward to kind of getting everyone's opinion, because you're right. I do have two and three playoffs finished. You and I went to Series 3, which made it really exciting to be a part of collecting and adding those moments. And now it feels, I'm not saying this is this way, but it feels like there's a lot more up in the air than just the confidence of, all right, I'm going to buy these moments, I'm going to buy these packs, and that's it. There's only one round of packs. You get your packs or you don't. And you get your trade in, you get your moment that you can either keep or redeem and keep trading up. So again, anything new is scary, but I think it's cool. I'm definitely going to be getting a couple of those, probably the 3-pack, if I'm going to do it, and see what happens. Just kind of ride. I don't, just throwing this out there, I don't have intentions to complete it all until I guess I get to the end and see what it really is. And I believe there's going to be around 90 some on total moments. So,
well, you never have the intentions of finishing it until you get a couple, and then you're like, you know what, I could do this.
Well, it's always easier when the Mavs are in there, and we're rooting for the Mavs. But this year, that's not the case. The Mavs are relaxing on a beach somewhere probably already, if I were them. But there's one guy that we're going to talk about today here in a little bit that I am excited to go over his moment. And there's going to be some exciting playoff basketball. If you watch the play-in games, the last couple, there's some brawls, there's some crap talking, there's some fighting, there's some coming down to the buzzer shots. I mean, it's already exciting basketball. So
it's going to be a heated playoffs. I'm excited. Yeah. Anybody could do anything. It's kind of up in the air, just as for lots of different teams competing. And to your point, we do have some good moments laid out. We're not going to get started, I don't think, until Treat comes back. And speaking of the playoffs that we went to last year, I got a story I want to bring up about that as well. But you said being at the games and in the playoffs, and we're witnessing that history there. And then we were able to collect moments from those games and things that we were at. I think that is such a key thing to the future of this is people that are NBA fans, people that are going to games, and then moments are made from those games, and they're able to collect those quickly, within a good time period of that game, so that they don't forget it. They could go get it, pretty quickly after. I think that's really exciting.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I see Big Treat coming back.
There we go. Sorry about that.
So we were just in the middle of talking about last year's playoffs and Series 3 that me and Brett were able to go to. And I had a story I wanted to bring up because it's pretty funny.
Sweet.
But I think we brought up before that we were outside meeting other collectors from Mavericks, and we saw Barkley, Kenny Smith, Shaq doing outside show. Barkley rode in on a horse, and we saw all that outside. Yeah. And we're in a sports bar. We had a drink or two, just a friendly beverage, and then we walked inside. And Brett and I, obviously from those beverages, had to go to the restroom like immediately. Like, hey, we got to get to our seats. We got to do some things, but we got to go to the restroom before this game gets started.
I got you.
So Brett and I are moving pretty quickly, scanning our seats. Cool, Mavericks. We're excited. Jerseys on. And we turn and go to the restroom. Brett's probably, 5 to 10 feet ahead of me. And we're moving through the crowd. And I look to my left, and I see Kenny Smith, suit, walking next to me. And I'm like, man, nobody knows that that's Kenny Smith. He's right there, the Jet. And so I didn't say anything. And I look up, and Brett, he's walking right next to Shaquille O'Neal. It is sitting, just walking full speed, going to the restroom. Brett looks, he's like, when am I going to get this opportunity? And instead of jumping on Brett's toes, I'll let him take over from here, what was going through his head and what kind of happened from there. It was pretty funny.
Unbelievable.
No, that we've had some crazy luck at some of these Top Shot Mav games that we've won tickets to. I tell you, feel like every time we've met someone cool. But I obviously am speed walking. For me, I'm short, fat, and funny, so my legs are going like this. And I see like a 6'2", 300-pound dude in a suit to my right, and then there's a guy in front of me. And then I look to the left, and I don't look. I like look up like this, right? Because he's so, and it's Shaq, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like freaking out. Like I literally, he was just on TV. He was outside. Like it's like a girl meeting Taylor Swift or something nowadays. I think that's a popular singer. But so I'm freaking out. I'm like, hey man, big fan, love you, love everything you're doing. Can I grab a quick picture? And I got my phone in my hand, and I'm like trying to click the buttons to turn it into a selfie. And he just doesn't answer. I'm like, is it okay just real quick? He's like, man, you talk too much. Just take the picture. And I'm like, yes, sir. I'm like, picture. And I keep walking. And then I obviously go to the bathroom, and we're like 20 feet from the bathroom. And I see a guard post up on the corner. And then Shaq puts his like one hand, which is like this size, on my whole chest. And he's like, hey man, gotta take a pee. And I'm like, yeah, me too. And like, but obviously I don't get to go pee with him because I'm literally going to have my phone recording him pee. And
that's not good.
So like, so he literally puts his hand and just gently stops me. And he walks in the bathroom, and his bodyguards kind of come in. And obviously at this point, I forgot I had to pee. I'm turning around, and Three Ball like was snapping pictures of us walking side by side, so you can see Shaq, and then you can see me like down here. Such a cool experience.
It was great.
So cool experience. And I think I didn't even pee. I think I just forgot and held it, and then like peed later.
Just moved
we were
on.
so pumped and exciting. It just moved on.
Unbelievable. That's crazy. I got to see those pictures. We got to have those pictures to go alongside that.
We'll share them. They're pretty funny.
Alongside that story. Like I can't even imagine the size of him. Like he's just
biggest man ever.
He makes NBA players look small.
Yeah, I've shared the picture with you guys in the chat of me meeting George Muresan. I mean, it's 7'7", but Shaq still feels like the tallest, just biggest man ever. He's just so huge, massive.
Did you watch that HBO that documentary?
Not yet. Was it awesome?
It's good. Yeah, it's worth your time. Yeah.
All right.
I'm sorry, Brett. What were you going to say?
Back here, I got to check out. What you got, Brett?
No. I was just going to say, Three Ball and I went to a sports con that I was working, and Three Ball is the tallest guy that I know, like that I hang out with. It's like, I feel comfortable. But then seeing him, and he had his kid, and it was Boban, right?
No, that's George Muresan. That's where we met him.
I thought it was
story.
I thought it was Boban. Yeah. It was just crazy seeing them side by side and just be like, wow, he really is short. And then I'm like, wait, but he's really tall to me. So like, I just couldn't. It's just crazy to see that height difference.
Yeah, that was really cool. King Brett had a booth and was talking knives and cutlery with all the who's who of all types of sports. I mean, we met Devin Harris, George Muresan, several football players and basketball players, coaches. There was lots of cool people there. It was really awesome.
Yeah, cool event.
That is awesome, man. Love meeting those NBA players. It's so cool.
Speaking of NBA players,
I think we have a few moments.
Good segue.
Let's get into some cool cats here. Would love to
moment by moment, baby.
Moment by moment, and I got to check these out a little ahead of time, and I'm excited about it. One of them kind of stands out. I'll let you.
Let's see. We're gonna start with Ben Simmons.
Ben Simmons.
We'll watch it once here with the volume.
I'm not a Ben Simmons hater.
Hater. You followed that up with hater.
Yeah, I'm not a hater. His career's kind of falling apart.
Yeah, he got hyped up pretty well.
Look at this. All right.
Is it jumpy for you guys?
It's a little jumpy.
A little.
It's all right.
Let's see if we take it off the full screen, if that helps. Because we've already watched it there. And we'll get us the sound off.
All right. First thing stands out to you guys in this play. What's the first thing you see?
Well, it's an end of game. You got Embiid taking the possible game winner in a tie game there at the end. Me as a coach's son, I saw not boxing out on the backside. You got Rudy Gay trying to block a shot, and you got Keldon Johnson just standing there watching.
Yeah, like how do you not? First thing you do, right, when that shot goes up is find your man and put a body on him. Like that's
especially a 6'10" guy who can't shoot. Like that's his play right there as a tip in.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the first thing I noticed too. Like you don't just turn and look at the basket. You find your guy and put a body on him.
Like Rudy Gay right there kind of gathers himself in the lane like he's about to jump up and swat it to half court. And he's not even, I mean, it's Embiid. He's not even close. And that kind of takes away some of that backside help to help box out. They should have been holding him off and going to either double overtime. I think that might have been an overtime tip in.
And the defender did a good job. He didn't foul. He didn't go for, he didn't go for any fake. He's held his ground. I mean, that's good defense on Embiid because Embiid is obviously a beast.
I feel like watching college basketball is a fun way to kind of get your own scouting report. You get to kind of watch these guys before they get into the league. And I got to see LSU in person when Ben was a freshman.
Yeah.
And I mean, he was so impressive that he played 1 through 5. He played all positions. He was almost unguardable just because of his size and what he could do with the ball. But you could tell every time the coach said anything to him, he just had a terrible attitude and just didn't want to, really work hard the whole game. But I mean, he played and did everything. So it's kind of hard to fault him at that. He's really talented.
Yeah, very talented. And you if you're that good your whole life, I mean, you get to the NBA, it becomes about everybody else is just as talented as you. I mean, that's a tough wake-up call, right?
Everybody's in the top 1%.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially when earlier this season, there was some crazy hype. Ben Simmons, even some of his moments, like everything kind of went crazy. He was playing great and then kind of had a little drought. But when I saw this or went back and rewatched this, the dude's 6'11", okay? So when I'm watching this, it's the game winner, technically. It's at the buzzer, like 0.1 seconds after the buzzer. It's labeled a layup, but is it? Like, it's just like, like, I get it. I call it a tip in. Like, the dude didn't even have to jump, it feels like.
Right.
But, I mean, in the bubble, tip in, win the game, versus San Antonio. I just think to win the game for any player, it's like one of the things you dream about, right? Like bottom of the ninth or, like 1 second left on a shot clock, you're down by 2, you hit the 3 to win the game, the half court shot, whatever. So it's still cool. It's a game winner. But I'm not a crazy Ben Simmons fan. I think he's got a lot of opportunity to show us how good he really is in the pros. Because he was awesome in college for sure. But
let's be honest, if he was going to hit a game winner, that's the distance he was going to hit it from.
That's true. He can't shoot. Excuse me. It's interesting to me to think about that Sixers team with him and Butler and Embiid and how dangerous it seemed like that team, man. I was scared of that team. And Simmons was a big reason because he was, man, they push the ball and he'd get in that open court and
he can pass it like nobody else. and he's so athletic, so he's dangerous. But the fact that he's got it in his head that he can't make an outside jumper or even take one, and free throws and all that, I mean, he's definitely got it. Some mental blocks for sure.
That's tough.
Speaking of mental blocks, listen to these stats of that moment, by the way. There's 14,700 of them. There's 1,000 of them burned. It's a $5 floor right now. But these are the stats I'm talking about that kind of corroborate what we were saying. He hit the game winner, right? Like the tip, layup, whatever you want to call it. He played 34 minutes of that game, and he had 5 points.
Wow.
Two of them were the game winner. So he
played
that
game, the
33 minutes and had 3 points. So
he's only 26. I mean, he could figure it out and settle down, but we'll see what happens.
I remember the conversations around how 15,000 meant was that's going to be rare, man. Once we have 1 million collectors.
Yeah. That guy collecting the 50 Ben Simmons Cool Cats is going to be in heaven that day.
Yep. You never know. You never know.
That's right. Let's go to our second tallest player.
Well, I got
let's see if you know who that is. Mr. 6'7" himself. Ooh, there's only an inch difference between our next two moments.
Watch it.
I know. I gotta say,
who we got next? Who we got next?
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Oh,
he went with our shortest of the group, Mr. 6'6", Mr.
guy,
Toronto himself.
This is a sweet moment. Oh,
I think so too.
Oh,
shows off the handles, knifing through the defense.
That is nasty.
Does he put his hand up to his ear after? What's he doing? Is that a celebration or is he fixing his headband?
Is he here? Yeah, that's a good question. I can't see.
There at the end.
Now, is that Struss? Who is that? He's gardening.
Max, I think so. Trying.
Oh my! Yeah. And he's not a terrible defender.
But that's Jimmy Butler stepping over for the block.
That's a good defensive team, and he just
4 dudes crash the boards, and he floats through all of them. When I looked it up, all of our moments today are layups. But when I saw this, I was like, layup. First of all, I guess this is a real layup, but I call it more like float, break dancing. I don't know what he's doing. He like floats and dances and turns, and these are the moments that I love to watch and love to own in my collection for sure.
That's freaking work of art there. How did that hesitation, step back, and then the acceleration off it right there. I mean, getting around that
quick.
Oh.
He made you think for a second, half a second with that step back, he was going to think about shooting it, and he just exploded, and Max had no shot.
You can't. That's unguardable. That's unguardable right there. He is a superstar. There's no doubt about it. That guy can ball. Oh, I love his game. I love watching him play.
So I knew that he came from Tennessee and went to Chattanooga in high school and whatnot, but I didn't realize he was from Canada. He moved his junior year to go to Tennessee.
I didn't realize that either.
Grew up in Toronto, played ball there, and then switched to Chattanooga for basketball his junior year of high school.
Shout out all you Toronto people up there.
Yeah, we got lots of Canadians in the group, eh?
Man, Canadians love some Top Shot, don't they?
Top Shot and poutine. Sorry, it's just their version of queso, so I've really tried to embrace it.
You just like that word.
What, queso? Yes.
That too.
Yeah. Dude, I tell you though, Shai, not to date stuff, but like watching him play last night in a close game, came down to literally the last seconds. But even the announcers I don't know what they're doing. Just give it to Shai and let him make a basket. Like they kept saying over and over, like, why are they doing that? Just give it to him because
he's a stud, man.
He is, and he's so quick. Like his 0 to 100 is so quick compared to some of these guys that the reactions he gets when he crosses over or does a little step fadeaway that people are just like breaking ankles. It's great.
Yeah.
Again, talking college ball, he went to Kentucky Wildcat, and their starting 5, all freshmen. This is a ridiculous roster.
Yeah.
Diallo, Richards, Knox, and Washington, all NBA players with Gilgeous-Alexander.
Wow.
Nick Richards,
Man.
Kevin Knox, PJ Washington, and Hamidou Diallo with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Man, that's a stud, all freshmen, but that's a squad for Kentucky.
Man, that is a squad. And that's that is an embarrassment of riches right there. Oh,
yeah.
gosh.
Crazy now. Just with the 1 year type rule of what colleges will have, they'll be a powerhouse, and then the whole squad leaves to go to the league, and then they just restock and come through. But nobody's staying for 4 years anymore. It's wild.
It is wild, and it's definitely changed the landscape. I mean, I don't even hardly watch college basketball anymore, just until the tournament. Because part of it is you can't, you don't start to follow these guys in their careers until they get to the NBA. You don't really know who they are.
Right. If they were there for 3 or 4 seasons, you start to get to know them and kind of follow them what you do at some of the smaller schools. It's tough at the big blue bloods. Yeah.
And you used to follow a guy's college career. You knew he'd have 2 or 3 years if he was a good ball player.
Which is why I like that they're starting to open up avenues for people that don't want to go to college. If they are surefire, a Jaden Hardy, and they want to go straight to the it used to be the G League. I forget what they call it now. I know it's changed, but and finding ways to do overseas and different leagues where they don't have to go waste time for 6 weeks in a class that they're not really taking, and not wasting minutes on a college team that me and Tredicus could have been playing,
Yeah. I could have stood in the corner and waited for them to kick it out for me to shoot.
I could have set up the after party.
If they could have, and then if they could call a timeout every possession and then take me out of the game before we go on defense.
Yeah, I was definitely on that side of things of defense and offensive subs. Oh, we're pressing, get him out. All right, offensive on the baseline. Let's go. Set up the inbounds play.
That's exactly right.
King Brett,
that's a great
one. Go ahead.
That's a great moment. I love that one.
I love this one too. Before I take it off, Brett, you want to hit us with some stats?
Yeah.
You can see some stuff there. 15K set there, but the interesting thing, the least burns out of the 3 moments, only 300 burn moments. You can tell that people like this guy. There's still 500 in packs, but the shortest guy out of the 3 we talked about today, but 33 minutes on the court, 23 points. He was 42% at the 3-point line. That's about my free throw average, I think. So that's pretty impressive, but just a real fun dude to watch. If you don't have this moment, I definitely think you should check it out. There's about 1,000 for sale on the marketplace right now. So the first 1,000 of you, you're lucky. Anyone after that, you may not get one.
Alpha.
Get in line now.
Very
I bet
cool.
these packs sold out so fast. I bet there were people mad they didn't get one.
For sure.
All right. Let's move to our last moment. Moment by moment, we're going through the cool cats.
Yes. I love this guy too.
I know you got a special place for this one, Tredicus, and I definitely want to talk about that since he spent some time in Boston.
Yeah, and he's definitely, I just like his game so much.
He's smooth, man.
He's so smooth.
A little hezzy coming off the ball screen. It's not too jumpy. If it is, we'll take it off, but.
Oh yeah, that's a great setup. He knew what he was doing. That's so Gafford flopping there. You think that's a flop?
Yeah, definitely. You can see it in his face.
That's an El Dorado, Arkansas boy right there. I got my shot blocked in El Dorado, Arkansas. The worst shot block I ever got was in El Dorado, Arkansas. I didn't see the guy, and it was so embarrassing. Just smacked it off the backboard. It was so loud, and the crowd was just on me.
Yeah, you have to learn early on to ignore that stuff because it can get in your head real quick, and then everything goes to crap.
It happens to everybody. No, but you're definitely a flop here. Definitely a flop, but really nice move. And he goes to the other side of the basket.
I honestly don't know. I think he just got burned so bad with that little thing where he thought he was going to go and he couldn't pull his body back. I think he just got schooled that bad. When I first watched this, the first thing that popped in my head was that song, like "Spin me round, round, baby, round, round." Like that's what he did. He just spun him around like a washing machine and just whoop, little right hand, man.
I didn't realize what Treat pointed out. I like him changing to the reverse layup because he can feel the defender that got ball screen coming behind him for the block. So he's chasing him down to block it, and he's like, "I'm going to switch sides so you can't get to this." That's a big time move.
It is. It's a classic. It's classic NBA basketball, right? They set that there. I'm sure this was part of the game plan, right? Pick and roll to get Gafford trying to stop the ball up at the top of the key, and because if he doesn't come up, Hayward shoots the three, right? He comes up, he penetrates. I mean, it's just classic.
And
NBA.
There's no one on that back side to give him help. So he's got a free run right to the right side of the basket.
Because they're always looking for those matchups, right? It does come down to picking on certain matchups and the teams and obviously the Bulls didn't like Gafford. He's with the Wizards now. But I don't know if that's part of the deal with him. He's an athletic, really good player, but maybe that's part of the issue that the teams just pick on him defensively and pick and rolls. And it becomes a liability.
With our Top Shot Wizard and SDA NFT and say, hey, what's he doing up there? Is he playing any defense?
Yeah, exactly. Is he flopping around again?
Jeez.
So back to our college conversation. Was at Butler, and that's when I first noticed him. And the guy that is spending a couple years at a university, at a school I'd never heard of, watching Butler play in the tournament, like you mentioned. They did okay the year before that, but his last year there, they made it all the way to the finals against Duke. And one of the most memorable missed shots, he missed that half-court shot off the backboard to win it.
Yeah, amazing.
Man, it was exhilarating. Yeah. It was crazy.
But that was back. I mean, how many years did he play at Butler? I mean, he was, that was back, like we were saying, that they,
it was more than one for sure. Bit. I know he was there for at least two.
I think it was two. It could have been three, but
hell of a player, no doubt about it. And he hasn't been the same since the injury. That was that was tough. We had such high hopes. Picked up him and Kyrie, and going into that season, thought, man,
that's where I wanted to go about it. So 2017, he gets named an All-Star for the first time for the Utah Jazz. It's his highest, he's been, and he gets sent to you guys. So y'all had to be excited, thinking, man, we got a great piece matched up with Kyrie. Y'all were so pumped, and then. Yes. He's there for 3 years, and I want to say 3 major injuries: dislocated ankle, broken wrist. He had some trouble, man. He probably didn't get on the floor much at all for you guys.
No, he didn't. And he's just such a hardworking. It seems like a great teammate. Just everything you want in a player as far as game and attitude. And it's just, it's rough. It's part of it, the injury.
It's unfortunate. That was probably a perfect spot for him, too. I bet Boston and everything, they probably accepted him really well. And
it's interesting because, him and Kyrie just in that year, struggling, but young Jalen and Jason took us to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah.
And it really kind of set up a lot of expectations about those guys that wasn't really fair. Like they stepped up and it was an amazing run, but then there was just this expectation that they were just going to dominate the league. And when they have
we know a little bit about that from expectations from last year. Same thing happened to us. Finals, and now we're thinking we're going to win it all out of the playoffs.
And any lull, people panic and talk about busting up the team. It's just silly. It's silly.
For sure.
Yeah.
Every season is completely different. You cannot expect it to be the same.
I do want to ask you some things about Celtics and playoffs coming up, but knock out a couple more notes on Gordan.
Go for it.
Just one quick note is he was a stud tennis player in high school as a freshman. He was only 5'11", and from freshman year of high school to senior year of high school, he grew from 5'11" to 6'7". So 8 inches just right there, and all of a sudden was like, I guess I better play basketball. He was playing, but he was concentrated on tennis in high school, and growth spurt changed things up, which is how he ended up at Butler. Otherwise, he would have been heavily recruited. But he wasn't concentrating on that. So it's kind of a diamond in the rough type situation.
Wow. Did not know that. That's a great point. That's really interesting.
Three-ball, and I Googled the same thing.
Oh, yeah?
That's what I was going to say. It's crazy to think that he was a tennis player and defaulted after his growth spurt to basketball. It's pretty crazy when you can default and become an NBA basketball player. I'm just saying.
I think we see it a lot with football and basketball of people that are high-level athletes in high school, college, in a certain sport, and then they just change gears and start a new sport or just play something they played a little bit, and they're just automatically pretty good. It happens a lot, actually.
Yeah, dude, amazing. I think I've heard of Michael Jordan tried that.
He did try that.
Multi-sport thing.
I was thinking like Antonio Gates was a major college basketball player, ended up playing tight end in the NFL. And there's several instances like that, vice versa, where they were playing one sport and completely changed to go the other direction. And I just thought that was very interesting. What do you got on stats for old Gordan?
20K mint count, almost 1,200 burned, so about 1,800 out there. 600 still in packs. What I love seeing some of these stats on these players is to actually see how long they played and how many points they got. This game against the Bulls, 37 minutes, 34 points. Like that's the stuff I look for. Seeing a guy that puts in time, but also gets some buckets. I can't believe it's a $4 low ask right now. $5. I'm about to hop on after this and buy that if y'all don't beat me to it. But 6'7" Gordan Hayward, like the dude, like the moment.
Yeah, it's a good moment. It's my second favorite of the ones we've watched today for sure.
Well, timeout. I haven't asked that question yet.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, all three are good moments, and we'll get to that point. He is 33, Gordan. But I mean, the way his game is set up and whatnot, if he stays healthy, he could help somebody and be a veteran on a team and
no doubt.
Be a good mindset guy. Get a couple minutes in there. I think he could still help out a championship team.
For sure. For sure.
All right, I'll go ahead and take that one off of there.
All right. So out of the three, I know we have a couple other things to talk about, but one of the things that I can't wait to find out every time we talk, these moments, moment by moment, what is your pick of the pod? Is it the Gordan Hayward? Spin me right round, baby, right round. Is it Shai little float breakdancing out there? Or is it the layup tip-in game winner by Mr. Simmons himself? Let's go with you, Treat.
Yeah, Shai. I'm all about the shots. And I think that's my favorite of all the ones we've watched so far. It's just sick.
So Thunder Hour is going to be upset if I don't correct you guys. It's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Shai, that's right.
Shai.
Yeah. See, if we didn't say it wrong, you couldn't correct us, and then he wouldn't get the shout out. So we did it on purpose.
That's true, and that's actually going to be my choice. Is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, man. That moment is so smooth from start to finish. His move on Max all the way to the finish at the rim. He's 24. He's got a big future ahead of him. I think he's that should be a valuable moment and valuable player to go after for the future, in my opinion.
Yeah. What about you, Brett?
I agree, and I think for the first time, moment by moment, we've all picked the same moment as our favorite. I got to go with the floating breakdancing kid, the guy who, if I played basketball, that's what I would look like playing. Is Shai, Mr. Toronto. What a great moment! Just fluid, excited to watch him continue to play. That's a team that's really close to where I live. So having an opportunity to get up there and actually watch some games is going to be exciting too. So
Shai ain't shy.
So that's a good point Brett just brought up. And we talked about this before of, okay, so I'm collecting my favorite team, maybe my team that I live right near. But now I've finished those series, or I've finished that all-time set. And now I'm kind of looking for other directions to go to. I talked about going for the Warriors before because it was somebody last year that I was chasing in the playoffs and wanted somebody that was a possibility to win the whole thing. But another secondary thing would be somebody else close that's drivable. You know, Oklahoma City is just 2.5, 3 hours from us. If there was a get together with the squad, you know, we could make that happen. Same with San Antonio, Houston. So that's been a strategy for Brett and I is geographically finding other teams that are close, like you do with driving down to Memphis. It's all the same strategy. Love it.
Makes sense. Yep. Collect your favorite team and then the team that's closest to you. Get the most utility. That's teams
closest to you.
Yeah.
There we go. Because for you guys, for
then
sure.
Then
connect. That's right.
That's right.
I love seeing pictures of you guys and us all meeting different collectors at games. Yeah. It's so exciting. We have that in common right off the bat, but it's cool that we're meeting in person and making this more of a IRL thing.
Yeah, it's amazing how the friendships that have been forged through collecting these things. And I mean, hell, Brett, you took my brother and my sister-in-law to a game Sunday. They had such a great time, and Tim won a moment, right?
All right.
That's awesome.
Congrats.
Awesome. It was we put up a thing. Guess points plus assists closest to the number won the moment. And there's 15 collectors that are serious, that are Googling, that are reading spreadsheets before they make their choice for the game. And Tim's like, yeah, okay, cool. Boom, did it. And I'm like, it was on my number, like a minute left in the game. And everyone's like, you're going to win. And then all of a sudden I just saw him toss the ball and a bucket go in, that assist go up. And I look at him and he's like, why are you looking at me? I'm like, because you just won. He's like, sweet.
That's awesome.
Like you never know what's going to you never know what's going to happen. It's speaking of collecting multiple markets, different people. We had a guy that from the Austin, San Antonio area, Beta, he drove up and was in Dallas. He's a San Antonio fan, but he's like, hey, if y'all have extra tickets, we got him invited. Him and his, I believe, wife came up, and it's crazy. We got some shirts, and all of a sudden I look over, and he's cheering. He's got a Mav shirt on, like he's in it. Awesome. And I'm like, this is great. Like it doesn't matter who you root for, but we love the sport of basketball one way or another. That's why we're here. And it's just cool to celebrate no matter who your team is. The Mavs are out of the playoffs. And if you think I'm not cheering on a couple teams still in it, you're wrong. So let's all celebrate and cheer together. It's way more fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. Definitely something I did not see coming as far as residual kind of how it affects your fandom, right? As an NBA fan, having relationships with you guys, having relationships with SDA, other folks in the community, you end up really caring about their teams too, you know, and rooting for them.
Except for Ariel and the Lakers, you know, we don't need that.
You just can't go there.
No, I'll cheer for everybody else. No, I'm
That's
just kidding.
interesting. Well, we're gonna have to break that down in another moment by moment. I got to hear more about that.
No, I'm just messing with him and the Laker fans. They love to get it riled up. And but to your point, I think it's great that we're Brett and I talk about rookies on other teams that we should not even know their names, and we know all kinds of things about them because of what we're doing. This is so cool. I love the connections we're making, not only with each other but with the other teams and the other fan bases.
Yep, no doubt. Well, guys, this has been great. We're 45 minutes in. It's a good time. I look forward to seeing you guys next week.
Yes, sir. Moment by moment.
Moment by moment, breaking them down. Have a good rest of the week. And
cheers, everyone.
I'll be dropping the a new ditty, a new hit called Champions Path Unplugged. I'll be dropping that a little later today. So be on the lookout.
Love it.
Some alpha.
Love it. You're going to get the support in the CNC group.
I appreciate it, guys. All right. Have a good one.
You too.
Have a good one.